Maybe they're halfway through. No.
Well, we'll bring you this exciting action.
Oh, the game's actually started. Whoa.
Right, now let's take a look. Yeah, he was halfway through a camp. You are right, Spud. So, big action in the first 2 minutes.
Oh, they were actually exactly parallel. So the junglers, we could eliminate them as factors.
Thrilling stuff.
All right, let's talk about lane matchups right now, because the one that I'm most interested in here is the Lulu Gragas.
Okay.
This is not a matchup I've seen a lot of. I would actually imagine this would tend to go the way of Lulu, though. Simply because you've got that shield, you can block out the Gragas damage, and you can generally then try and just auto-attack him into submission. His sustain will obviously mean you're not going to have an easy time pushing him out, and eventually it's going to become just a farm battle, but right now, bot lane is going to be the factor.
Oh, Flay out of Libic holds them in place. Actually, Mountain was able to wait it out, flash forward out of Zayu, and will be, I say Zayu, it is Zayu.
Zayu, yes.
It's weird having Zayu and Shu in the right game, in the same game, because Shu actually could be misread as Zayu.
I would call that Zhu.
Shu.
Not Shu. Maybe? Shu?
I don't know. My Chinese is not that great.
No. All I know is that you pronounce QI as Chi, because I watched QI. Did I mention that ever?
You mentioned it earlier in the cast.
Maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, so the Mountain actually almost got gifted an escape there, because Zayu went a little bit early.
Yeah, that was a bit of an issue for him. Mountain there, his Flay was actually pretty good to try and keep himself alive, but as long as you're willing to go deep enough, basically, and the thresh is far enough out, you can get him. Invades.
Oh, invades, and it's actually middle lane that was pinging up. There's quite a little bit of action going on around the map. Take Fun dropped very, very low there.
Flash and Ghost used.
At the hands of Perks. And top lane, as you kind of alluded to, early levels, I feel, for Shu is going to go in his favor. But as soon as Gragas gets a couple of levels under his belt, gets the items, a lot of top laners right now are saying that Gragas is very difficult to deal with. But Makler in the bottom lane taking a lot of damage. Brilliant hook out of Mountain. And now Libic is left. Decathlon Surprise is not going to get the kill, but great hook.
That was a really, really good hook there from Mountain. Gets it in spite of the flash there, so... Makler had already used his flash somewhere else. I'm an idiot, but whatever. They caught him, and they got the kill. So, nice advantage there in the bot lane. Can Infaculty keep it up? This is the biggest issue. This is why the hypercarries have been doing so well lately. Is yes, maybe people have been able to get small advantages early, maybe one kill, maybe a couple of CS. But if you don't keep them down on XP, their innate stats tend to start outscaling the carries that rely more on what used to be bloodthirsty carries, basically. And as a result of that, the hypercarry can start to come back in, even just on lane trades, because you don't get that big snowball effect from the bloodthirster that used to be in the game.
Yeah, that is one of the biggest changes in recent times. Has really opened up that bottom lane with regards to what can actually be picked. And yeah, again, that top lane, there's been a couple of different ways of building Gragas. I've seen like an Iceborne Gauntlet variant. I've seen Rod of Ages variant as well. So I'm kind of wondering how Gragas is going to build. It tends to be the tankier style rather than, you know, a full AP Gragas. So I'm not really expecting like the DFG's Gragas that we were seeing quite a bit at the end of before Gragas got his rework.
Yeah. Well, when we think about it this time, though, of course, he is going to be going up against another AP. So it might actually be worth it more to get the extra wave clear, to get that little bit of extra pushing power from the extra AP. I'm expecting to see a lot of Doran's rings regardless, because that just seems to be what top lane APs really love to do. Triple Doran's, sometimes even then triple Doran's into Chalice, into Athenes, and you just have so much mana. You don't need a true buff.
We may actually see a slightly maybe more mid-lane-ish. Yeah. I wonder whether he will get an Athenes. It's a good question, because it would give him that little bit of magic resist.
Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it isn't. It's a very, very nebulous answer to give you, but I think in this case, probably would be nice to have, basically. And I don't think there's a big fear for him from not being a bit tankier. So having that extra bit of AP, having that extra bit of burst, especially when you've got a divey composition with other divers to tank the brunt of the burst from the enemies, I think in Athene's an AP build here could work.
A really, really important part of the game is about to hit, though. Take Fun, nearly level 6. Perks is already level 6, so watch out for the ultimates from the mid laners here, as they tend to have some of the biggest impact in the game.
But, of course, in order to effectively use your Twisted Fate ultimate and actually gain an advantage, you have to be able to push out. Will Take Fun stop that, and will... He's not Xiu, he's Zayu.
Zayu and Shu.
Shu.
Who knows?
Alright, cobblers.
Bit of an attempted gank there in that top lane. Oh, Libic's going for it in the bottom lane. Nope, just gonna let that...
He got those minions.
Yeah, got the minions. Just putting that damage down. But top lane, they did have the Gragas ultimate and not yet the Jarvan ultimate. Does not have access to that. However, bottom lane, nice hook again out of Mountain after the Zenith Blade into the fight. There is a lot of damage right now on End Faculty, and Makler is going to fall from this. And that was Libic engaging that.
That is the problem with the Kog'Maw Leona setup they have. Not the best follow-up in the world, because if Kog'Maw wants to go deep, start attacking, doing a bunch of auto attacks, then he's going by necessity to expose himself to the counter engage. That happened as a result there. They are now starting to fall very significantly behind the Lucian. He's got a full Bilgewater already and hasn't shopped after that last kill. If he can stay in long enough to get a full Blade of the Ruined King, Libic is going to have no option to engage when he gets back in.
And it's a horrible spot to be in. I really have to question this Leona pick for now. I mean, the laning phase, it just isn't working out. And Nami has been pretty much queen of the bottom lane alongside Kog'Maw, and it's surprising that with it open, wasn't picked.
And it's not like they didn't have the means to pick themselves. You know, they already had quite a lot of hard engage.
Yeah.
You know, they had the Twisted Fate even. He can be part of that initiation process. You can have the Gragas, you can have the Jarvan jumping in. Having a Nami tidal wave to follow up on a hard engage is already a pretty good part of that kind of a composition, and also doubles as more peel for the Kog'Maw there. So I'm not sure I see it, even in the later game.
Yeah,
It does give them pick potential though.
Curious as to the reasoning. It will set them up very nicely for the bottom lane. If Jarvan hadn't just walked over a ward, and End Faculty, surely you saw him go over the ward.
Yes.
Lantern comes back. Yes,
That was nice baiting.
It was.
It wasted Jarvan's time, and Take Fun's time by the looks of it, because he was roaming down to potentially join in. Took an extra bomb for his troubles. So, in fact, toying with our hearts and minds.
Yeah, indeed, toying around. But look at this top lane now. Now that Kubon has picked himself up, Catalyst the Protector, going towards Rod of Ages, as expected, has himself the tankiness to survive through a lot of this Lulu harass that's coming down, because she hasn't got all that much damage right now.
It does actually make a lot of sense, of course, given that his passive is percent healing. Getting that Catalyst is going to be that little bit more effective. He may get the body slam.
Gets the body slam and the barrel roll as well for the follow-up, but middle lane is where Zayu, again, didn't hit that. Is just going to say, if I can't land the skills, I'm just going to ult. Here comes the paranoia, however. Fear Tether is not going to land. Crucial. If that would have landed, that would have been a kill.
Yes, but that is one of the problems with the Nocturne. Early on, he's not tanky enough to be diving for a prolonged period, so you can only really gank lanes that are quite heavily extended already. And, of course, counter-ganking is the other option, but he was not prepared for the Jarvan there on the mid lane.
Yeah, counter-ganking is pretty much how junglers will play Nocturne, but middle lane, here comes Jarvan again into the fight. Oh, Zayu was taking so long. The siege minion off!
That cannon...
It cancelled the auto from the cannon minion, but it's bottom lane. The engages. Mountain will whip the chain around and pick up the kill on to Libic. And again, this bottom lane is going so well here for End Faculty.
Yeah, it really is. They have so many kills now under their belt that the difference in scaling between Kog'Maw and Lucian is not going to be apparent for a long time. And Jiu does not have wild growth.
Kuban's looking for it. Where's that one? That's bottom lane, I believe. Oh, yeah, that's great camera work. It's top lane again. Kuban trying to lead him back to the barrel. Isn't going to get it. I think he's overcommitted to that glitter lance. Who'll pick up the kill. And apologies for the bad camera work.
And I'm sure Dyrus would tell you actually about this. If you screw up on Gragas, it's your own fault. You missed the skill shot. You saw that the barrel roll did not hit, and as a result, he didn't get a kill. And then he was left in a situation where, in a very low HP fight, that shield is effectively like doubling Lulu's health compared to his.
It looks like while it was off screen, actually, Shu is in quite a bit of. No, okay, it's fine. Okay, let's. The
he's not.
Flash was used by Shu, so I wonder whether he flashed the barrel roll, which would make sense.
That is a possibility I had not considered.
Because it may have happened off screen.
It makes sense. All right, so fair enough. That is an outplay then in that case. And in that case, you have to bear that in mind. If you're the Gragas player, you have to be aware that your skill shot very dependent. But still, neither side is making plays for objectives right now. In fact, I've got to say, I feel like there should have been at least one dragon play from N faculty by this point. Considering how many times they're killing the bot lane, they could probably have tried to capitalize on that more. Although, in fairness, they're going to be okay to farm this out for now. But you do have to bear in mind how scary Reason's comp is in the late game.
Yeah, and that's one thing that you've got to be careful with. Here comes the Destiny top lane. This is a well-constructed gank. If they can get it, blasts Shu back into the turret. Wasn't able to get the gold card. The barrel roll didn't land either. They do have Jarvan here to follow up on this. So it is going to be a kill. It's just who's going to get it. They're going to give it to Take Fun. I think that's the right choice. Zig's ult was used, but it was to clear the mid-wave to ensure it was pushed into the tower while they take Dragon.
So very good play there from N faculty, because big commitment from Reason to get that one kill in the top lane, and because it took them so long to kill Shu, they're not even going to have time to really push that top tower down. They committed a lot of people behind the tower, and now, of course, that means N faculty know exactly where the jungler isn't, although they are finding exactly where he is at the same time. Wolf fight. Go. Good smite.
Got the smite. Blue spawns. Thumps his fists together. And
does he now have his smite, though, for the blue, if Nocturne contests it?
No, he doesn't, but I don't think Nocturne is going to saying that.
Uh-oh.
Here comes Jarvan over the wall into a ward as well. Libic has already been engaged upon. There's the Cataclysm, gets the Paranoia right the way into the Cataclysm. Mountain has picked up the first nice flay, but that's already 2 kills. Makler could be looking to clean up here, and here comes Twisted Fate as well, was looking to run it down to the lane. Couldn't get there in time. 2 for 1. 2 for 2.
2 for 2. 2 for 2 overall there, but it's Cogmore that picks up a kill there. He doesn't die, crucially, and Cedrian does, so the XP gap between them decreases, and that is a really good setup there for Reason. Obviously, they did lose the Dragon, and they didn't get that much the advantage in the top lane, but that's kept them a little bit more even now in that bot lane, so we're less likely to see all these deaths continue for Cogmore. And for all that he has been dying, he has kept up on CS.
Little bits of damage coming out from Kuban. Oh, it's actually going to ult Shu away, so didn't quite come off as planned there by Kuban. But 124 CS now to 112, so even though he's behind a kill, he's been farming pretty well here, and to be honest, to out-farm a Lulu is pretty impressive.
Yep, but Gragas is also a very good farmer. And this is one of the things, compared to top laners on the whole, mid laners are very good at wave clear. Take Fun is in kill range here.
He is, but here comes Jarvan as well. There's the ultimate out of Ziggs. Manages to flash away from his satchel, charges away from the flag and drag combination. Perks now is going to drop the Hexplosive Minefield, and that is going to stop that in its tracks.
Flash burned by Twisted Fate, but Perks now is not going to have an easy time pushing this out because Jarvan is there to already shove it. He's low on mana. This actually is a window where Take One may be able to make a play with his Destiny. They have the Leona up in ult and up in the bot lane, but he's actually choosing to return to the mid. I have to question that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a point that you have to look at, is that when returning to lane, do you return to your lane?
Or do you return
to somebody else's?
The art of strategy is to be where the opponent least expects you.
And this is the problem with Nocturne. He had a spell shield, looked to spell shield off something, and
He didn't do much.
yeah. If you get caught like that as Nocturne, there is nothing you can do.
Yes. He is the Cogmore of junglers in that respect. And that is a big problem. That is one of the reasons we don't see him very much now that Feral Flare is a bad item again.
Yeah, when it was a good item, you saw him all the time because he had the damage to
Yes.
die. That was the key.
He is, like you say, he's a binary champion. If you go in, and going in is a really good idea all the time, like it was when Feral Flare was up,
So
he's a good champion.
I have to wonder, going Elder Lizard and then straight into tank, would it have been a better option perhaps to pick Vi?
It strikes me
Perhaps.
that that's the truth.
Destiny has been used. It's top lane that it's going. I was posing a question and missed a kill. Apologies to our viewers, but Perks is pushing in the middle lane.
Yeah, and this is what happens when Twisted Fate roams against Ziggs specifically. He pushes fast, he takes towers faster, and this is going to be a mid-tower. Did kill the top, of course, and that does give them some CS advantage, and Ziggs has actually not retreated, and possibly this could cost him his life.
Could do. Looking to lock the gold card. Will get it. Has to dodge the minefield. And actually the angling there, did it let Perks get away? I doubt it, but here comes the paranoia. Cataclysm was used by Zayu, and here comes Shu into the fight as well. Barrel roll does clip onto Shu, and Kubon, look at how tanky he is with that cloak there alongside the Rod of Ages. He is just not falling.
Yeah, not really sure why Shu completed his teleport there. No.
Bottom lane.
Whoa.
Oh, Icathian surprise. Does he have the damage to kill? Cedrian heal is going to keep them alive. However, it is another kill in the bottom line area as Take Fun will fall. Here comes Zayu into the fight, takes out Cedrian, and again, very, very scrappy.
Yeah, kills absolutely everywhere all of a sudden. And meanwhile, top lane remains completely abandoned. Dragon actually pops up in 50 seconds. So Reason actually don't want to stay too long here to push this bot. They want to be able to get that top push out so that then Kubon can roam down to the Dragon
Explosive
fight.
Cask is available again.
He's waiting for it. But again, the timing on this is not necessarily perfect.
Kubon, I mean, playing this aggressive is a signal that you have your ultimate available. I mean, there's no two ways about that.
Yeah, he was not trying to hide it at that point. He was just saying, get out of the way. I'm here. I'm clearing this way whether you like it or not, which he then proceeded to do. However, his presence in the bottom lane for so long may actually lose him more farm than he did gain from the top to the tower. And also now means that they are a little bit out of position for this dragon fight because the whole of the team and faculty can converge on it.
I was going to say, speaking of out of position, Lerbek is between a rock and a hard place. Manages to find that little gap away from the end faculty lineup. Destiny has been popped. They know they're on Dragon right now. Solar Flare is going to land right onto Shu, but there's nobody there to follow up. It's a Smite War in the Dragon Pit. Oh my goodness, I think Zayu actually smited early on that one. And now End Faculty are looking to clean up with the damage. Makler is dropping very low off to the side. Cedrian now has to dodge the Icathian surprise, which could be huge! It actually is massive as Kubon comes over the wall. Now Take Fun turning the damage back onto Mountain, who gets a great hook into the mines. Kubon will pick up a triple kill, and it's a 4-for-4 overall.
That fight was messy as all. Okay, look, it wasn't. There was a ton of AoE being thrown around, is what I mean by the messiness there. It wasn't necessarily a bad fight from either side, but we will be having a replay coming up in just a second. So, crucially, we have that massive Gragas ult spreading the whole fight out, and Cogmore getting bursted down very quickly. But then there's that amazing turnaround, with the Icathian surprise actually contributing a big deal of the damage. And then it's just a matter of Cedrian cleaning up one side, Kubon cleaning up the other, and that sweet little hook at the end just to make it an even trade.
Yeah, nice little hook onto the Hexite minefield there.
That's cute.
That's a support that is aware of their surroundings.
Either that or was just like, I'm going to hook him.
Yeah,
I'd have hooked him too. I wouldn't have necessarily aimed it correctly. But you would have. Well, I think that's the natural thing.
I think it is. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. That
yeah.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
That's probably right. I'm actually curious what Thresh has been looking to max here as well. Because quite often it tells you a lot about them, looking like actually going equal points on the Death Sentence and the Lantern, which doesn't really tell us much about him at all. But quite often you'll see Death Sentence maxed as a second option, and that's basically telling you that he's trying to be as aggressive as all hell. It means it actually does a decent bit of damage as well if you max it second, and it means you have the cooldown being much, much lower, much more pick potential, even though arguably the Lantern is a stronger skill, and you'll get more out of maxing because you get the cooldown and the shield strength as well, and the shield strength is AoE. The Death Sentence can create a lot of opportunities for you.
Man, look at how tanky Kuban is already in this game. Has the Spirit Visage completed?
You were right, tanky build.
Yeah, it's what we've been seeing. Chain Vest, I'm wondering, I'm trying to remember, because the number of times I build Glacial Shroud these days is, teleport up into the top lane again, and it's actually Zayu that they're looking for. Is going to lock him down with the gold card, and will pick up the kill.
Yeah, and you can build Frozen Heart out of the Chain Vest, but it's the Warden's Mail he'd be going for first.
Yeah, because it's Chain Vest into Warden's Mail now, but Cloth Armor into Glacial Shroud. So it's not an Iceborne Gauntlet.
No, I mean, it could be in the super long term, like, I don't know, maybe build the Chain Vest into Frozen Heart and then Iceborne later, but that'd be a bit weird.
Might be a Randuin's as well. Yeah.
Or Sunfire Cape.
Of course.
So many options.
I've not seen too much in the way of Sunfire Cape.
Tends to be a Shyvana only item nowadays. Because you see it, AoE magic damage. Wouldn't be, I mean, I guess hypothetically he could build a Void Staff later on into the game, and that would actually synergize with the Sunfire Cape, but probably not. Probably not.
Sig's ultimate a little bit too late on that one to save the turret. Satchel Charge, however, will keep Zayu in position.
Take fun. It could have pounded that up,
It could have. I don't think they wanted to commit to it because they didn't exactly have vision on everything. So that's always one of the tough spots to be in.
What do you call? Siege is what they call right now.
Yeah. There is good wave clear though on the side of Reason, and there's the solar flare onto Cedrian, who was way out of position at the front of that fight. Now it should just be the cleanup business here for Reason. They're looking. Does that take fun? Has ghosted? Yes, he is running ghost this time. They're going to catch on towards their next target. That would have been Shu, and that is 2 down so far.
Yeah, and that's straight up Cedrian mispositioning there. Leona should never be able to hit you if you are a squishy AD carry who also has a big focus from your team's gold. They were able to start, if they sat there, set up that siege, kept throwing out bombs, going people away with the minefield, chipped it down very, very slowly, you can see why Reason were looking to engage there to avoid that situation occurring. But now, they're defending the Baron, and this could backfire.
Zig's ultimate comes in, Baron's still at half health, so Reason do somewhat have to disengage here because there's just too much damage on end faculty. They've prevented the Baron. Mountain is looking for a hook. If he can get it onto Makler, just flashes out past the hook.
Yeah, they're not going to do that themselves. At this stage of the game, Baron is just that little bit too tanky. It's not necessarily that the damage would have ruined them there, but they would take way too long, and especially against Ziggs, magic damage debuff, as we all know, a lot of damage from that. But now, that actually just means Faculty is going to get this tower. I don't think Reason has time to re-engage on this. Maybe, but I don't.
Solar Flare is available. Livic's looking for it. The Destiny came through as well. The hook, finds Take Fun. That was a sublime hook. And now it's Zayu is taking so much damage, but he gets himself away from this, and Makler may just be on cleanup duty here because now Mountain, forced away, is going to lantern out Shu here, but it's pretty much deja vu for End Faculty.
Yeah, okay, in fairness there, I wasn't expecting the Grag Assault to basically put all the... It really is deja vu. The backline so far out of position, but this time they feel a little more confident. Obviously, Ziggs is dead this time. Kuban can tank this all day. Should be able to just pick up the Baron here. So, Reason now putting themselves ahead where previously they have been behind. their comp is also starting to show its strengths. We've seen it now a couple of times. The hard engage is so brutal, and as long as Makler doesn't get focused out, which has actually happened more than it should have done, I'd say, in a couple of these fights, he's just going to shred you.
It's starting to make sense, Dyrus's comments about Gragas in the top lane and how ridiculous it is. Shu may have found himself Libic. Hook lands, that's going to likely be a not dead Libic.
You're right. He's not dead.
Yeah. See, I just held on for long enough that it was like, are they going to commit? No, they're not committing. It's okay. But they are committing to Dragon, however. And then Faculty will get that. But will there be a follow-up fight? Oh, Makler. That is
Odd positioning.
odd, to say the least. Destiny not available. So.
Oh, wow.
Oh, good steal out by Perks, and there's the engagement. The Zig's ultimate is not actually going to do that much damage at all. Kuban is godlike. They saved the Solar Flare. Oh, Zenith Blade doesn't quite get over the wall. Paranoia, however, look at Kuban tanking 3 members of N Faculty here. My goodness, he has so much health to take down, and Mountain falls. Kuban goes legendary. He's 8-1. The chase continues. Kuban is an unstoppable monster.
He really actually is unstoppable. That was 3 people. 2 of them were the highest damage threat still alive there. And they just didn't put a dent in him. He tanked them for, what maybe 5 or 6 seconds before Makler moseyed his way down there. That was really quite impressive. And it looks like he's not done yet.
Look at this health regeneration.
He does have Baron.
With but I mean it's Spirit Visage as well.
Yeah.
Like, with his passive is every time he casts a spell, it's doing so much regeneration right now. Look, here comes the ultimate out of Twisted Fate as well. Makler falls before Takefun even gets there. How do you deal with this?
I have trouble answering that question, and I think part of this, of course, is the issues we highlighted in Champion Select for this composition from Faculty. If it goes late game, we said.
Play back onto Jarvan, but they don't want to commit to the engage. They can just wait this up a little bit here. And Thornmail as well. That's something we hadn't really picked up on.
He is a tad on the tricky to kill side. But if N Faculty can get a hook, for instance, on Matt, either of those 2 targets potentially could work for them. But I don't think we're going to be seeing it.
Yeah, here comes the engaged. Solar Flare lands on Cedrian again. However, Zayu goes all the way into the fight here. Mountain, however, left to deal with Kuban, flays him away, but it's only a matter of time, surely. Kuban maybe focusing the support. It's actually Lucian that's picking up the kills here off to one side, and Cedrian manages to get himself away. He was the one that was solar flared at the beginning of this.
I think maybe there Kuban got a little distracted with being a behemoth and just lording it all over everybody that he was nearby, and sort of forgot that Cedrian was still alive, which did result in Cedrian killing everyone. A bit of an issue for your teamfight strategy there. So hopefully in the future, for the sake of Reason Gaming, they will be a little bit more careful to make sure they've killed Cedrian before going all Godzilla in Tokyo on the enemy team.
I haven't heard that in a cast before.
I take that as a compliment.
Oh, that caught me by surprise. That was not expecting that. But Perks gonna take down that blue buff for himself. Pretty much Ziggs with blue buff is the most difficult champion to siege against.
Yes.
Yes. The fact that he is being given the blue buff, even with the control that Reason have had for the last few minutes, is a little bit of an oversight in my estimation.
And it's going to be a bit difficult, because of course it would be quite difficult to deny that blue buff particularly, because he did lose the preceding team fight, which is probably why they didn't try and steal that. But now you're right, it's going to make it really, really hard for them to push in, and they're not so far ahead they can die, not by any stretch of the imagination. Which does actually mean their comp falls down a little bit. They need to split push with TF.
Yes, that is very true, and my brain these days is working in fantasy points, and I'm thinking, man, if there was fantasy points for this game, Reason would be making a lot of people a lot of points.
If only they were in the LCS.
It's too soon. It's been like 2 splits.
In fairness,
Still too soon.
most of the players weren't in the LCS anymore.
That is also quite true. It is.
It's Kuban and Macro, the only ones still there.
Who's Libic now?
Oh yeah, Libic. Man, I'm...
Because they changed Kikis and...
Who was it?
now I feel really bad for not remembering.
Too many
Makata.
names, too many... Yes.
Makata.
Makata's flat out retired as well, didn't he? Oh well, doesn't matter. So, Reason Gaming continuing to push in here. And they did get that tower in the end, in spite of the lack. And I think that's partly here the problem with Faculty's comp. They can't really engage. If they're being sieged in, they're having difficulties dealing with it. They can't outpoke them particularly hard. Face to face also quite a relevant threat in that respect.
Yeah. And to be honest, I feel like this game is going to go a little bit long. From the situation that we're at now, the fact that Reason, when they had their advantage, they still very much so have a gold lead. Yes. But the momentum when they had Baron, the fact they couldn't break the inhibitor turret, extends this game far longer than perhaps it should be.
Yes, I think you're right, although the Baron is coming up soon.
Yeah.
What I would say here, though, is that Faculty are doing a smart thing here. They are preparing for the Baron by virtue of sending Ziggs down to that bottom lane, and I actually thought he was going to set up a slow push wave, and he actually kind of has, but he should have let it freeze a little bit longer before doing that. He's going to be able to clear that out and still be there for the Baron. But what you want to do before the Baron pops up is to set up a big slow push wave in the bottom lane, which is extended far enough that Twisted Fate can't necessarily clear it and still be in place for the Baron. And then you force the Baron yourselves to try and put them in that awkward situation where they want to send someone to stop it, but they also want to be there for the Baron jig, after all.
Which is imminent.
It is jigging in progress.
Jigging intensity.
And there is a ward. Okay, they spotted it.
Okay, they've spotted out the wood. They
haven't stopped
the
doing it.
ward, and now they're going to just start the Baron.
Okay.
This is kind
oh,
of...
flash.
Oh, Cedrian's caught out again.
God.
Oh, that is not where Cedrian wants to be. Immediately taken out of the fight, and this fight should go a little bit different to the last one. Here comes Kuban into the fight, finally, for his team. He's still legendary, has not been taken down. Impossible to kill him at this point. And Ghost has been used by Takefront. And then looks at the gold card. He's taken a lot of damage here, and here comes Zayu. Actually, got a double set off that wild card. He's got both members there, and that puts Zayu in a really awkward spot. Reason should just face tank a turret with Kuban. Kuban can just tank a turret. Look, no damage.
I wonder how much armor he has at this point.
Let's
got
find
to
out.
be something completely stupid at this point.
It's 200. I'm not near the screen.
254,
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
So, yes, he is indestructible. They also now have... Actually, my memory is, my god, awful, but... Mega Inferno Bomb's up
Yeah, I was
soon.
going to say Mega Inferno Bomb. This
Right,
could be
speculative.
Oh, what?
Wow.
No way.
He was totally
Libic.
down on like 10 health. I bet you that was... Actually, I'd say 20. 20 health.
It's somewhere around that. Unfortunately, we'll never know because I was a little bit slow.
Unless we
to
set up
swap.
a replay.
No, because it would just get what we saw, and I
Would
didn't
it?
swap in time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry. I thought she was going to die, I'll be honest.
Stress.
I thought she was going to...
I thought-
That was... Oh, Kuban in from the back. Perks is going to get obliterated.
But he's a tank.
He's
That's
got
not
a
fair.
Rod of Ages and an Iceborne Gauntlet right now. So it means that when he goes into the fight, that auto attack follow-up is going to do so much damage.
High risk, high reward play failed by Faculty. This could be it, actually.
I think it likely is, actually, because Reason have 2 in the Death Chamber right now. Faculty have 2 not on Summoner's Rift right now. They are still chasing here. We're going to follow the main action as they look for another inhibitor.
Yeah, they are possibly taking this slower. Destiny.
Destiny has been used.
And he's clearing minions.
Oh, Shu is ulting. Does not get out from that
Blue card.
Blue card.
Let's kill him.
Oh, he got it. The extra damage from the blue card.
I reckon the gold card would have killed him too. I don't actually know.
Inhibitor has been
Doesn't matter.
no.
They're pushing in. They're going to win the game.
They are, because they've they've cumulatively picked up a lot more kills than the initial 2 here, and now they're going to dive on. That is the ace, and Kubon showing why Tank Gragas is pretty good up in that top lane. Makler will fall to end the game, but it is just a formality right now, as Reason Gaming will take down N Faculty in a dominant performance.
Yeah, it took them a little while to start getting that momentum going, but they got there in the end. They really got there in the end, especially with... I think had Kubon not roamed so effectively, if he had not been able to be around for dragon fights, getting really, really fed as a result, they might not have had quite such an easy time, because once they had that indestructible frontline tank, he was able to pretty much zone out Ziggs and Lucian in most of the fights. And from that, they were able to obviously build up a head of steam and take the objectives in the game. Had that not happened, had he not gotten quite a lot of kills at that dragon fight, maybe there would have been a bit more struggle for them. It certainly wasn't quite the same level of destruction we saw from, say, Gamers 2 against SK Prime.
Yeah, that's very true. But, you know, that's something we'll watch out for tomorrow, as we have more games coming for you guys tomorrow. So while we head away for the day, make sure you head over to FACEIT.com, sign up and play a game before you join us again for tomorrow's broadcast, because then you'll be in with a chance of winning $20 on our friends' websites. As you can see all the social media down at the bottom as well. But yeah, you'll be in with a chance of getting $20 from G2A.
Yes, indeed.
Yep.
To spend on whatever you want.
Indeed. So all you got to do, as you said, sign up to FACEIT, play a game on FACEIT for League of Legends. It'll place you with people from your own skill bracket, so don't worry too much.
Yep.
And yeah, play a game. We'll be doing that giveaway tomorrow during the stream. But I believe that is all from us for today.
I believe that is indeed. We only had the 3 games after all.
Yeah, and 3 games again tomorrow. So again, a big thank you to our partners at Alienware, who are powering the Challenger Invitational here for FACEIT, Overwolf and G2A as well. Make sure you send out all the love on Twitter. The social media stuff has appeared on the screen. Follow FACEIT on Twitter. Follow the channel here on Twitch. And get involved. Get talking about the Challenger Invitational as well. If people wanted to find you, Spud, where could they find you?
I have a Twitter, which is pretty much the only thing I use nowadays. Twitter.com/Spuddington, which is @Spuddington, of course, as well.
Yep. And I'm at DignitasStress on Twitter. So if you enjoyed our casting, we will be back tomorrow with some more awesome games here for the Challenger Invitational from FACEIT. We'll see you guys tomorrow.